I'm always curating and looking for. So let me just reset really quickly. Welcome to Ghana. Guys, I hear that Ghana is going to be the next Dubai. And so I definitely want to be a part of it. I'll share a little information about Miss Dawn Dickson. If you've ever, give me just a second. Hold on. If you have ever seen me roll out of my purse, guys, if you've ever seen me roll out of my purse a pair of these shoes, I got them in every color. She is the founder in listen, guys, you roll them up, you stick them in your purse when you're wearing your 5-inch heels, and then at the end of the night, you take them out of your purse so that you're not looking crazy barefoot, and you just put them right on your feet. There, I mean, I have them in every color. And you see how quick I was able to get my closet is right here. So, guys, she is the founder and curator of this brand and of this shoe. She has done some remarkable things. I really understood crowdfunding from Dawn many years ago before many people were doing it. She came out, she says, you know what? I'm going to raise funds for my next invention was now the machine that you now get to take these shoes out of in the nightclub, in the mall. Ladies, y'all know y'all be wear, you know we wear these shoes that crunch our feet up and you just got to get out of them. That's that. So not only has she done that, I've been following her journey over the last several years, guys. Somebody said, well, where does Dawn live? I said, I think Dawn is a nomad. She live everywhere. Last week she was in Asia. This week she's probably in Africa. I don't know where Dawn is. I know that Dawn is curating business. She recently, over the last couple of years, guys, bought land and other projects in Ghana, Africa. Yes, Africa, the whole continent. And I'm partnering with her because I believe that Ghana is going to be the next Dubai. And I want my kids to really reap the benefits of my success. I want me and my children's children to reap the benefit of wealth. And so it starts here, guys, getting in at the beginning. I want to remove myself out of the way, and I just want to give it over to Miss Dawn Dickson.
Thank you, Claudienne, for always being so supportive of me for like a decade or more at this point. And thanks for the opportunity. Looks like we're kind of like hair twins today. Just you got the red, I got the blonde. But thank you, everyone. Oh, I got muted. Thank you for the very warm welcome. So I don't want to delay because we're almost 15 minutes in, so I'm going to jump into my presentation, and then there'll be a chance for questions at the end. And Claudienne and Crystal will also share a link later where you can find more information. So I like to lead my presentation so you get to know me. Like, who's this random lady? Yes, I did have my flat out of heels, but I've been an entrepreneur now 23 years. I founded 6 companies. I sold one. I'm in the process of selling one. I have a patent on a vending machine that dispenses multiple types of products. So I got my patent in 2020. But always I've just like been a lover of us, like us, Black and brown, Black people, African people. So I also I went to school for information technology, but I also always was sliding in like African American history. So that was my minor and my passion since I was a young person, just really in search of who I am and where I come from. I'm a Black American, so we're always on search of like where are our roots. And so I've been traveling the world. Since I made this presentation, I've hit 2 more countries, so I'm at 34 countries now. And I've been Ghana. It was a 400 commemorative of when the first enslaved Africans reached the shores of North America. And so they said, come back, you're the return. And I felt like it was a good time to explore Ghana and the possibilities. I had a wonderful time in 2019. It was just, it just felt like home.
You're
Can you all
muted
hear?
now. Yeah, okay. Perfect.
I'm sorry, I'm in a co-working space. So when Claudienne said I'm a nomad, she did not lie. I'm on a road trip from California to Ohio. I'm in Mississippi. Okay, so my life is really crazy. But going back to where it left off, Ghana really did feel like home. I've been to a lot of countries, but it never really felt that in the way that it felt. So I knew I wanted to engage with Ghana long term. So I started out by investing because I'm an investor myself. So I've invested in multiple, over 15 startup companies and real estate and stocks and all kinds of things. But okay, let me invest in Ghana first to see if the temperature. Let me just try it. So I invested 25,000 into a startup in Ghana in 2020, and they're still doing really well. So that gave me confidence in Ghanaians as far as doing business and as far as investing in the country, knowing my money could be sent to Ghana, knowing it wouldn't be just, scammed or vanished. So I felt good about that. I knew I wanted to move to Africa my whole life, and then after my daughter graduated and did, her time in university, I felt like it was a good time to move. So I moved to Ghana in December 2022. Quickly after, not too long after, I started really just digging in and seeing, okay, where can I start to invest now before the prices get too crazy? And I came across a project called the Pan-African Village in Asebu.
We lost her again, guys. Give me 1 second. Claudienne, are you on the line? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, she's gonna switch over.
Perfect.
She's gonna switch over and come right back.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate your
Well,
patience.
I'm really sorry. I'm in a co-working space. I have all the bars. So I don't know why it's kicking me off right now. So please bear with me. I will definitely make sure we get through this. And maybe that's God's way of telling me to like wrap up the beginning. Okay. I forgot where I left off, but I bought the land. People kept asking me, can I help them? And from being a business owner for at this point 23 years, I said, okay, I'll start consulting and helping vet projects and helping us find land and apartments in Ghana like I did for myself, just to make sure that we are safe and protected and nothing happens. So that's what I've been doing since April 2023, is selling property and land in Ghana and Rwanda. And then I worked full-time for a Ghanaian developer from November to April, launched a project with them called The Address. We sold out. It did amazing. And then I decided to go back on my own as a consultant because I needed more inventory. So I needed more. And when I worked for them, I only could sell their projects, and they just didn't have any more units for me to sell. So in April, I decided to branch back out. I spent the past couple of months really vetting new opportunities. So this is my first presentation sharing the new projects that are coming up in Ghana. So again, thank you for your time. Here's my why. Claudienne mentioned about her great-great-great-grandkids, and I feel the same. I want to be the great-great-grandmother that brought the family back to my one and only child. So, everything I do is just for that legacy. And this is our land. I have a banana plantation in Rwanda, and this is our land in Ghana. As you probably know, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't, Ghana is very hot right now. It's been all in the news and the media as far as for Year of the Return, which that's why I came back, was the Year of the Return. Ghana just was announced as the second safest country in Africa. The number one is Rwanda. So, I'm planting my seeds in those places. If you saw the most recent Super Bowl commercial filmed in Makola Market, one of the largest markets in Ghana, that was during the Super Bowl. Of course, everybody's heard of Afrofuture, this huge festival and concert that goes on every December that's getting bigger and bigger, bringing tons of people to Ghana. It gets insane. I think eventually they're gonna kick them out like they did in Miami and said, it's not you, it's us, because it gets crazy, like very, very, very packed. And then as you see here, a lot of Black Americans are moving to not only Ghana, but all over the continent to just get rid of all the things, get away from all the things that we've been experiencing. So now is the perfect time. It's not too late. It always feels like it's too late when you hear about things, but you're still right on time. This boom in tourism has definitely impacted the economy and travel. And I want to highlight a few things because it really affects investors who are in the real estate sector, because you're wondering who's going to be renting these properties that you buy. So I want to highlight that since 2022, so these are the numbers for 2022. The new numbers haven't come out. I'm sure they're even larger now at this point. But you see the top 3 traveler markets to Ghana are USA, Nigeria, and Britain. So these are advanced developed markets. So these people are coming from these countries like ours. We're used to certain standards of hotels, accommodations, restaurants, service. So Ghana now has to adapt to the influx of travelers and tourists who are used to a different cultural standard expectation of certain things, amenities and houses and things like that. And they really weren't set up for that. So if you can see here where it says accommodation for visitors, only 32% of people who travel to Ghana actually stay in a hotel. The rest of them, as you see, are staying in private homes, meaning could be an Airbnb. Mainly it's an Airbnb. Then a guest house, which are people that set up the small bed and breakfasts, maybe 5-bedroom guest house for people to stay in, and then corporate housing. So this large bulk here, this 60% represents where people are staying, and there's still not enough housing to accommodate all the people that are coming to Ghana for the short term or long term and want a certain standard and quality of living. They want AC. They want AC, because a lot of places don't have C and have AC, certain types of bathrooms, certain types of the way we like to live. So the Ghanaians and expats are coming and really investing in more condos, more apartments to accommodate these guests. So this is why investing in apartments is a really great investment at this time, specifically studio and 1-bedroom apartments, as they do the highest volume and turnover in this market. Sharing some statistics, we can see what we can trust, but I did a lot of research to seeing where the economy is projected to grow. And of course, like I said, the influx of tourism, tourists, embassies engaging, Accra is just really, it's been a boom. Real estate market projected to reach 458.5 billion this year. But the main sector, I want to point out, is residential real estate, 389.1 billion, because as I said, people are building new things and building new projects to accommodate the shift. And it is a huge shift. I will tell you, Ghana fundamentally is about 20 years behind us in America. It may look like we're on par, as far as you can live a great lifestyle there, but it's still such a good time to get in on some of the developments and the way that the country is starting to change. So they're definitely behind us in technology, of course, and a lot of, like, the first smart home just got built in 3 years ago. So there's still a lot of opportunities, and they're starting to bring those into the real estate sector. So I want to mention that in the past, the Ghanaian culture was more, you get a compound, you have a big compound, your whole family lives on that compound. You'll build 3-4 houses and everybody will live on this huge family compound, and you don't sell it. You don't flip this, you don't move up, you don't move out. They keep their land forever, they pass it down, and they don't really care too much in the past about amenities and things. They have their own family compound. But as Ghanaians started to move around the world, their kids are being educated in America and the UK. They're traveling, of course. They're all over, and they're starting to bring those different cultures and expectations that we have there to Ghana. So now they're wanting gated communities, and they're wanting amenities and swimming pools and gyms and playgrounds as a part of these communities that didn't really exist. The first communities of this sort just came out in the 90s. So it's still a fairly new concept, but now it's even more and more. So again, the boom of just building modern accommodations, building communities. The houses were massive, huge estates. Now they're building much smaller European style flats. So it's a big shift in even what the locals are looking for. Here's a couple of things that you just need to know in general about buying in Ghana. So this always makes my American friends a little confused, but it's called a land lease. So when you get when you buy a property, or in our case, we're talking about apartments, you'll get a lease. And that lease is for 50 years. And because we're non-citizens of Ghana, Ghanaians can do 99 years. After the lease is expired, then before it expires, you just renew it. I would like to compare this lease to your property taxes. So you're an American, you own a home. You really don't own it, even if it's paid off. You're leasing it because if you do not pay your property taxes to your state, they will take your house. And that's the same thing as in Ghana. It's just instead of paying this annual tax to keep your land or keep your home or be able to domicile in your state, it's every 50 years. And you'll just pay this lease renewal. They do not come kick you off. They're not going to take it away. It is yours. It's in your name, but the language is lease. Same as in Rwanda, same as China and other markets that I've experienced. So please just understand, the difference between the US and Ghana is you will never get kicked out of your home. That is a fact. They don't come and take, unless you have a bank loan, which is very rare. But as far as there's no tax lien sales. Nobody's coming and taking people's houses. They come knock on your door. They want to get your lease renewal. Is pretty affordable. The only freehold land, meaning you own it without ever getting a lease, the only freehold land available is granted to Ghanaians. And from my understanding, that land is long gone. No one does that. They'll lease it for 100 years, but they will not sell you a freehold land. They keep it in their family forever. Property taxes range from 0.05% to 1%, depending on the classification in the area. In your case, and what I'm going to be talking about today, you don't have to worry about the taxes because the building will handle those taxes. In most cases, they handle those taxes as a part of your fees, and they're very nominal, and they'll communicate that with you, but it's very low. I mean, anybody I've talked to, it's been well under $1,000. So it's nothing that you have to really be worried about. People ask about financing. It exists. They have diaspora mortgages, but as you see here, here's some interest rates. Those interest rates were in February when I made this presentation. 29% interest rates. It's just crazy. I went to the bank just asking and doing research about mortgage loans, and that ranges between 14% and 25% for a mortgage. So nobody does that. It's very rare. Ghanaians pay cash for everything. It's a cash society, something I had to definitely get adjusted to. There's no such thing as a credit score. It's just, can you afford it? Yes or no, pay cash, it's yours. And then if you're thinking about things like HOA, common area maintenance, the things that we pay to be a part of communities and apartments, yes, Ghana has that as well. And it ranges between $100 to $300 a month. Maybe in the more luxury sector, it could be up to maybe 500. I haven't seen that, but in the next couple of years, it could go there with inflation. I have to share with you that people do get scammed a lot. People get scammed in Ghana. So it's just so important to just do due diligence. A lot of us watch YouTube, we get very emotional, get very excited, watch Instagram. We just want to oh, yes, I want to buy land in Ghana. It's $2,000 or, it happens. And as you see, this whole side of my screen is just screenshots about scams from just everywhere. I just put Ghana land scam. And so it's all the time litigation and issues about scams because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, people do not do their own research. They do not go down to the Lands Commission. They do not do their land searches. They just take people's word for it. And that's what happens. So just bottom line, it's a credible place to do business. You can definitely make money as an investor. You can definitely not get scammed, but you must make sure that you do your due diligence. As with anything that you would do in the United States, do that in Ghana. All right. After that, now I'm going to get into a couple of opportunities. So I will tell you, I'm not a real estate agent. I don't even really consider myself like a broker. I'm a consultant and I go out and I really dig deep and vet projects, meet with developers, dig into their portfolio, their work, really go visit all their sites, see what they've done before. And it's my passion to advise diasporans on what is worth buying, what's credible, what developers you can work with. Since 2023, I started doing this in April, and I really started selling in May. I've sold about 3.5 million in real estate since then, primarily apartments. The average is about $120,000. And then some land. I've sold 55 plots of land in Ghana, and then I've sold a hotel to a group of American investors. So I have a lot of experience in this short time. And, I only sell things that I believe in from people that I believe in and I like and I've vetted. So I'm going to share two opportunities with you because these are the two that I really, um, that I feel like, are worthwhile right now. There's a lot of things for sale. There's a lot of new developments in Ghana. If you come to visit, you'll be overwhelmed with people building, and that's because Ghana has a lot of land. Everybody owns land and everybody wants to be a developer now. But I think it's very important when you're buying from a developer that you understand their track record and what they've done. So these two are the ones that I'm highlighting now. And I just finished selling out another project. It was really great. And I sold about 15 units to Americans, and it's breaking ground in July. So this developer I want to focus on is Gold Coast Developers. This is the first one. It's a fairly newer company in Ghana. And normally, if you haven't been in business 10 years, I don't want to deal with you. But they've been only around for about 4 years. But the reason I really like this company is because of the founder, Neil Oku. I really like him. I've spent a lot of time with him. But he was born in the United States. And he's Ghanaian, but he was U.S. born. And then his parents moved him back to Ghana, and he grew up and went to school in Ghana, and then he went back to America and completed university. And then he worked on Wall Street for 12 years as an investment banker. So he really understands money and finance. And I appreciate that because there's like a Ghanaian way of doing business, and it's very different than our way of doing business. That's been an adjustment for me. So I like to work with people that understand how Americans and Western people like us, how we think, how we move. So Neil, he's, born and bred in the US, but he has, obviously he's Ghanaian and has a deep connection there. So it's best of both worlds with him. So I like his company and I like his developments that he's completed recently. So they've completed one development, sold out. I visited it, called Forster Park. Here is what it looks like. I love the design. It's just very beautiful on the inside. Those were expensive, honestly, for Ghana, and I'm sometimes very shocked at the prices, but these went for I think 700 to 800,000 for these 4-bedroom townhomes. They sold completely out, and they're renting because I was trying to get one, and they're renting for 4,000 to 7,000 a month. Can you believe that? $7,000 a month in Accra, Ghana, in Cantonment. But their primary market are embassies and business people. So Accra has a lot of embassies, a lot of conferences. So they'll come and pay up, leases for 2 years. And so, they have that network. And I like that as well because if you invest with Gold Coast developers, they can help connect you with that network they have of tenants for your property, which is important. As an investor, you want to make sure that your property is going to be occupied and you have someone that can, manage it to get your returns. So that's a little bit about them. There's a lot of links and information and interviews that I can share with you. So this is just like an intro. And then if you decide that you're interested in more information, possibly to purchase, I will send you lots of videos to watch and just things you can really dig in. But I've spent a lot of time getting to know Neil, and I do trust this new project that they're doing is going to be delivered. So the project now selling off plan, this is going to be delivered summer 2026. This phase 2. It's called the Heritage 100. Phase 1 is in progress, and I will send a video. It's built, but they're just, finishing it up. And now they're moving into selling phase 2. So I feel good I know they're going to deliver because they've already sold. They started selling in 2022. They built the building. I've been in it. And they're delivering it next summer. And then now they're building another. They're breaking ground next month on phase 2, which they own the whole entire block. They're actually renovating the entire neighborhood. I have videos of the actual real neighborhood. I have drone footage of the neighborhood. So all these things you can see, what your, the surrounding area, but it's in Livoni, which is a very nice and upscale neighborhood. They took their designs to the African Property Awards in London, and they won, as you see, there are these 4 awards for design, architecture. It just, that's a prestigious award to get. And they really demonstrated their attention to detail and their quality. And I think it's because from Neil just having that American background. So again, this is what the project looks like overall. I do have videos I can share, just can't do it on this. Phase 1, I've been there, it's built. We're moving over to this building this is the one that I'm focused on selling right now. Right now, for the early release, we're only releasing studios and 1-bedrooms. I begged them to give me some units to pre-sell, and they have, and at some really good prices. This is what the balconies look like. So, you come out, it's a green building, EDGE certified. I think it's the only EDGE certified apartment in Ghana right now. It's not that easy to get that status, but they really double down on using sustainable materials and doing as much as they can to just use the materials, have the plants everywhere, the gardens, natural tiles. They're using different kinds of clay works, different types of materials made in Ghana. They also, I like this because this is the first development I've ever seen that has a really target and focus on the expat community, diaspora community. So this is here, I don't know if you can read it, but they talk about things that they're offering specifically for the diaspora in their building. So in the actual building, there's an office that will help you with your government ID services, business registration, DNA testing, language training, tourism, transportation, shipping. So imagine all that you need to get adjusted in Ghana is in the actual building. So as an investor, when you have your guests, your tenants coming from different countries, they don't have to go all around trying to, how do I get a Ghana card? How do I get a SIM card? How do I register a business? What do I do? How do I take a tour? It's in the building. So I like that because it's just an amenity that you really can, I feel like, capitalize on with your tenants. Here's some of the amenities. They say the pool, spa, cinema, library, rooftop gardens, wellness center. They have EV chargers, car wash, playground, co-working spaces, restaurant and rooftop bar, a cafe, an art gallery, and a very, very beautiful, beautiful lobby. I've been in there. It's not finished, but it is very, very nice. This is what it'll look like. They have the winding staircase. The aesthetic is just very beautiful. It does have a sea view. If you get high enough, like on the 7th and 8th floor, you can see the ocean. So it's not too far away from beaches. Accra beaches are not the best beaches in Ghana, but there are beaches, and there's some very nice new places popping up. So these are the units that we have. Tell you there will be other units released later, but they won't be at this early price, and they will not, these are the ones they're releasing now, selling, and then they'll release more, but they will not be at this price. I'm going to zoom in a bit just so you can see. Now I will tell you they're small. This is more like this phase more like hotels, so more like Airbnb guests or people that are like an individual like somebody like me. I rent a 1-bedroom apartment in the city. So this is something that I would take. So the studio, so they have something called a suite, a studio, and a 1-bedroom. A suite is just like a hotel room. It's 300 about it's like a little over 300 square feet. So it's a hotel room. So you can buy a suite and you can rent that suite out every night like you're renting a hotel. Then they have a studio, which is a slightly larger, little over 400 square feet. And I will tell you, in the beginning, these sizes surprised me because I'm American and I like space, but they've really moved over towards the, like I said, the European flat style of building, because that's a lot of the travelers don't spend too much time inside. So everybody now on the market is building smaller rooms. So this is standard. A lot of my clients are taking it back like, oh, 400 square feet. And I'm like, yeah, That's how they're building. But the 1-bedroom is 700 square feet, a little over 700 square feet. So you definitely get more room in the 1-bedroom. And again, these floor plans get a lot more in depth, a lot more details, get to study the floor plan, see the floor plan, see the brochure. But I'm just giving you the overview today. I'm gonna pause really quick to see if it's like any questions that like popped up. Okay, I'm seeing, wow, that's expensive. That's expensive. Yeah. Everyone is usually shocked. It's not cheap. I was shocked when I moved there. I thought I was about to be going to Africa and living like they tell you on YouTube. It's expensive. It felt like moving to LA. I'm going to be honest. It felt like moving to LA. But this is the thing about Ghana and Africa. It's better to be an owner than be a renter. You make rent, you can write off all these things, your office, you can write off your lease as a business owner. You know, you don't have to worry about paying all of the fees associated with being a homeowner, because being a homeowner can be overwhelming. We know this. But in Ghana, you buy an apartment for $80,000, $90,000 and then you rent it out for $2,000 a month. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to rent when you can buy at such a low price. So, I mean, comparatively, right? So now I've found myself spending $24,000 for rent last year because I was paying $2,000 a month, and I could have, that's a quarter of the money that I could have bought a whole apartment for. So it changed my mindset. And so people that go in and buy as an investor, they see the upside really good, but people who come in trying to come to the market as a renter, it's a shocking thing to see what these prices look like. So these are the off-plan. So off-plan pre-construction, that's what they call it. Julia, sure. You have a question? Yes, please. Jeff? Wait, hold on. Someone asked a question. Jeff, you can ask the question. Your hand is raised.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Awesome. Thank you. This is phenomenal. I'm Ghanaian, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, good. I saw you shaking your head, so I'm like, okay, he feels me.
I'm
He
like,
feels
see,
me.
yeah. The rents on, so say you acquire this house for 180,000. How much rent can you get on the studio?
That's
The
coming
small,
up in the
medium.
next part of my
Okay, my bad. Okay, you got it. My bad.
presentation.
Don, I do have a question.
I got you.
How
Yes.
close is the nearest airport to the area?
Yes, so Laboni, the airport's about 14, 15 minutes away. I spend a lot of time in Laboni. It has all the good restaurants. It's a walkable neighborhood, which is not many walkable neighborhoods in the city. But Laboni's nice, and even when, Jeff can tell you that, he's Ghanaian. Laboni, Cantonments, Ridge, Roman Ridge, Airport Residential. These are the neighborhoods in Accra that are the upscale neighborhoods. Laboni has a lot of the embassies there. So that's why the rent's very high. Cantonments has a lot of the embassies there. So the U.S. embassies there, and it's all of them. All of them are between Laboni, Cantonment, and Ridge. And so the prices for real estate are a lot more expensive. But again, they're coming in and renting. So as an owner in these neighborhoods, you are at an advantage for long term. And one thing too, the real estate prices in Ghana, the market, it does not depreciate. In America, our things fluctuate based on the economy, based on interest rates, but nobody's property is depreciating and the value of their homes are not going down in Ghana. It doesn't work like that. It's based on demand, and the demand is not going down. So they're continuing to see an increase in property values at such a rapid rate. It's very surprising. So I'll get into more. I have more statistics after this part. So these are the prices for the off plan. The ones that are scratched out are sold. This was just released last week. They've already sold out 100% of phase 1. I take that back. They have 3 units left, but they're in the like 600,000 to 700,000 range. So these are like American diaspora investors. You prefer studio 1-bedrooms, lower price points because you're not going to live here full time. So that's what I always like to highlight with you. So this is what's available. This is the actual price. So you can see it ranges from 86,000 to 123 for suites, which suites is a room. A studio is a bigger room. And then the 1 bedrooms, 700 square feet, 180 to 189. And again, I'll go into some more prices so you can see just how much you can get off of that. The next project hasn't even launched. This is my exclusive project that I'm working on with the chief of Cape Coast. He's a recently installed chief. He's a global businessman, owns a military defense company, it's in the UK. He's very, very engaged with the community. He has done so much to build up Cape Coast. Cape Coast is the former capital of Ghana. It's about 3.5 hours from Accra. That's where I actually live. I have a house in Cape Coast, and then I also have an apartment in Accra. But Cape Coast, I love it. It's developing fast. It's a great place to invest. You know, everybody wants to invest when it's really hot, but you pay more. So Accra, when you want those immediate returns, close to the airport, the apartment in Labone is great. If you're looking for something that lower price, long-term development, it's Cape Coast. But this is a beachfront property. So I'm showing you these pictures here are of the resort, not resort, restaurant and entertainment center that he just built and opened last month in Cape Coast. And he's built four new office towers in downtown Cape Coast, and he's building apartments. So he's just really doing a lot of development, but he's doing 12 oceanfront chalets and apartments. And a lot of diasporans ask me about oceanfront, and I never settle in a lot of times, which is not, it's not clear. People are scamming, so I just stay away from it. But this is the chief. I know he owns it free and clear. And now he's going to be selling them. So either you can buy them and own it and rent it, or you can do a fractional ownership model where you buy the apartment, but you only can use it yourself 2 weeks out of the month, the 2 weeks out of the year. The rest of the time you commit that your unit can be used for 100% rentals, and he'll run it as a hotel and share a profit with you. So it's just another creative way that they're now raising money for hotel and project developments, is by giving investors fractional ownership. Instead of you buying it outright and it's yours, you own it with the developer. And this is a great way to, to invest and get those guaranteed returns and not have to really worry about it. So I don't even have any pictures of this one yet because we're finalizing it. I'm kind of the consultant I am the consultant on the design. And so he had an initial design, and I said, the aspirants are not going to fill this. We need more windows. We need more. There's things that we like if we're going to have beachfront. So I'm tightening up those things. And so when you get the form that Claudienne and Crystal will send to you, it'll just ask you, are you interested in the Labone apartments, in the Cape Coast beachfront, or both? And then I'll send that information specifically once the floor plans and everything are completed. But this is going to be early release. I will have the ability to give you like a first dibs discount on these. And so I'm excited because this is like the first beachfront apartments being built in Cape Coast, period. He has the only public pool in Cape Coast. Fun fact. So it's really, really developing, but it's a very, very beautiful, beautiful area. Here's some sneak peeks of some concepts for these. And the prices we're working on: studios, not suites. I'm pushing for studios at least being 400 square feet, maybe a little larger. I like a little larger, for the beachfront. 1 bedroom starting at 120, 2 bedrooms starting at 200. So again, it will be either fractional ownership or ownership. Let me see if there's any questions. Are there nearby hospitals, healthcare facilities? So in Labone, yes, very much so. Hospitals, schools. It's a very, very busy and popular and nice neighborhood. If you fill out the information form, you'll get an email from me with a lot more information about the neighborhood, about just everything. It's a lot that I couldn't cover on this call for sake of time, but I will go deep in. Someone asked about East Zone. So I'm not a developer, so there's plenty of things being built in everywhere in Ghana. But I just go and pick out the projects that I feel will have the best returns, that'll deliver on time, that will do business in a way that Western people like us can handle. Because I'm telling you, you guys can't all handle the way Ghanaians do business. And I can, but patience is required. So I try to just find people that work with Americans or who were educated in America so that you can get the level of communication and service that you are used to, because it's very different. So the projects that I've seen, though, may I have liked the projects, a lot of other red flags existed where I'm not comfortable presenting them to you. But if you go to Ghana, you will get pitched 100 different developments to buy into. I'm serious. And I've visited them, many of them. Okay, so someone asked question, are there no more apartments on the upper floors? Will we have to worry about squatters? There's no, there's no such thing as squatters, okay? Somebody in your property, go snatch them out, like literally. No, none of these things are like this. It's very owner friendly, okay? You know, Ghanaians, they're not playing about their property. I wish you would try to squat. I dare you. Okay, let me see the next question. I think, okay, we're good. She dropped the interest form in the chat. So, yes, please click that if you're interested. So here's a couple more things you were asking about, and I have even more information coming. So the market snapshot, real estate today. I looked up this last week, what are the prices for apartments going right now? And obviously I work with developers and agents, so I just got the most recent what the going rate is in the city. So these prices are for the city meaning Labone, Ridge, Cantonment, Airport Residential. Those are pretty much the areas. Osu. How could I forget Osu? Studio apartment, you're gonna pay about $1,200 to $1,800. Could even pay more, but $1,200 to $1,800 is safe. A 1-bedroom, you're gonna pay $1,800 to $2,500 a month. These are US dollar prices. Everything is priced in USD. 2-bedroom, you're gonna go from $2,000 to $3,000. I have seen 2 bedrooms in cantonments for $4,000. Paradise Courts, actually. So, you know, this is a range. It gets go on the higher. I don't really see it on the lower. I've never seen a 2-bedroom under 2,000 before. And then a 3-bedroom from 2,500 to 5,000. But I went and checked out that Forster Park, and that was 7,000. So again, it can go high. I haven't seen it go very low. They blame us. I've been on a couple group chats and they blame us diasporans for driving the price up, but I just think it's because you know, a lot of people are coming from around the world. I am happy to see Ghanaians getting to take advantage of their wealth of land and resources and them capitalizing on their property instead of, you know, other races and coming in and taking all of their properties and their land. That's not the case. Ghanaians are running their country very much so. They own their land. You know, there was colonization, but they don't have their land. I mean, the Ghanaians have their land, and I love to see that. It's very inspiring to be around them and the way that they operate and how they own land and how they have generational wealth and how, you know, they plan and save, and it's really inspired me. Anyways, back to the thing. According to Nubio, the rental properties yield about 19 to 22%. When I worked for DevTraco, they told us to always tell our clients it's a rental, it's a ROI of 8 to 12% just to be, you know, reasonable, but I've seen more. I've seen 20 to 100% returns on real estate very quickly. So when Ghanaians talk about a flip, like they don't even talk the words flip, but in our terms of a flip, flipping is buying properties off plan, buying apartments off plan and selling them right when they open up. That's why the projects sell out so fast. I have investors that come in, buy 5, 10 apartments. Then they wait till the development is ready to be launched, and they sell them back to people who want them because they're sold out. Because people can't wait 2 and 3 years for a project to be built. They want it now. And so the flip is buying off plan and selling as soon as it hits the market. I have seen investors literally buy an apartment for 90,000, turn around and sell 250. Another person I saw buy one for 200, sold it for 400 just back in January. American lady, she lives in LA. She bought a 1-bedroom den for 120, and as soon as it opened up, she sold that for 200. So that is how they're making the flips. per se. So if like you are looking at what I'm showing you and you're like, I don't know if I want to live in Ghana, but I want to make some money and, somewhere to put my money in the next 2 or 3 years, get apartment off plan, wait it out while it's being built. The price keeps going up. Every time they put a new price sheet out, the prices are more expensive. And then when it opens up in 2, 3 years, of course, inflation, the prices from 2024 are not going to be the same in 2026. And then there you are, there's a chance to sell a unit. Phase 1 of the Heritage has been sold out. I really wanted to try to get some units in there because it's going to be ready next summer. But people bought those out in 2022 and 2023. A lot of people ask, can I be a citizen? I want dual citizenship. I want to be a citizen. Can I be a citizen if I invest in real estate? The answer is no. It's just like any other country. It's like America. You can't just walk into the US and be like, I'm going to be a citizen if I buy a house. No, they'll take your money. But the only way to really be a citizen is through marriage after 3 years of being a resident and married to a Ghanaian. Lineage, if your parent or grandparent is Ghanaian. Or right to abode, which is being there for 7 years and showing and demonstrating that you're contributing to society, and as a whole process. And that's why recently you all have seen Americans getting their citizenship on Instagram and things. They've been there for a long time. They've been there for decades, and they're finally getting their citizenship. But they're not just handing out citizenship. You can easily get a residency. So being an investor helps you to be able to get residency, and that's all you really need. You can come and go as you please. You can invest, you can do things, but you don't really need to be a citizen. If you're looking to be a citizen of a country for the purposes of like taxes or something like that, it's not Ghana. There's no laws that really benefit you of being a citizen. There's a book that I read called Nomad Capitalist, and it really breaks down the different countries that you can get citizenship where it makes sense. It doesn't really make sense to be a citizen. It doesn't give you any benefits. Yes, Stevie Wonder did get his citizenship 2 days ago, a couple days ago. They actually invited me, and I'm sad I missed it. But they do that because he's a celebrity. That's it. That it brings visibility to the country. And he's been coming to the country for a long time, and he has done a lot in Ghana that people are not aware of. So it's possible, but it takes time. He's been coming there for decades. So just wanted to preface that you're not going to just get citizenship. And I don't know if any African countries giving out citizenship like that, but I have a 10-year visa, a 10-year visa in Rwanda. That was very easy to get. And I'm finalizing my residency for Ghana, but you need a lot of letters and paperwork. And, it's not easy. Last but not least, I'm doing a retreat. Claudienne is coming. We're almost booked. We are booked, but like I put it here because Claudienne is coming. And you're her people. So if anybody really is interested in coming onto the retreat, I will open it up for her guests. So, but you have to book pretty quickly. If you're interested in information, I can definitely share that with you on the information link that she shared. It's a I'm interested in a retreat. If you click yes, I'll send you the information. And then, I'll extend the deadline a bit because, again, Claudienne's coming. It'd be a great time for you to experience it with her and with me while we're together. Any questions? So yes, complete the form. I'll get in touch with you ASAP. I'm very responsive. I'm very engaged. And of course, Claudienne and I are partners. So we are going to help you to the fullest. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. This is time to anything that you would like to know.
So guys, if anybody has a question right now, Don, I don't know if you're done with your presentation.
Yes,
but
it's over.
Screenshot that. If you could remove the share so we could kind of see everybody. Does anybody have any questions? I know that I have been hearing, I've been seeing, and something interesting happened yesterday. My best friend, who's also a mentor of mine, I was communicating with her on the phone, and I said, well, I need to go and start my class with Don and, get on the radar to get to Ghana. She said, oh my God, I just booked a flight yesterday. Check this out. Yesterday, this was a few weeks ago, with another group to go to Ghana. Now, we just talking. She also booked. Let me tell you something. I sent her the information for Don, and she booked before me. She booked immediately. immediately.
She really
So,
did.
yeah, and I'm like, girl, I just sent you the link. I didn't even book yet. But nevertheless, she's now going twice. She's very interested to find her land, you know, her 20 acres so that she can build her community for her family. So am I, alongside with some investments. I can tell you right now, I love the idea. And guys, if you got to pay attention to what's going on, Don said double-digit interest rates. I want you to know that America had double-digit interest rate at one point, maybe before our time, but my parents certainly had double-digit interest rates. It doesn't mean that it's going to stay there, but I want you to pay attention to some of the things that are going on. The other thing, Don, you said that was very attracted to was the idea that there was this first beachfront property that you're now familiar with that hasn't even really started yet. I can tell you right now, I'm going to be one of those buyers on the water. I have been just seeing people traveling. I'm like, they got beaches like that in Africa. And I'll tell you, I went to Johannesburg a time or two before, and it's very different. It's very Americanized. I don't even think you need anything to get over there. You go, you know, it's nice. But I'll tell you this. I was gonna say something and I just forgot. I cannot remember. Nevertheless, whatever I was getting ready to say it is. But does anybody have any questions?
I have a question. How easy, thank you so much for the presentation, very well put together. And I visited Rwanda last year, and I do have plan to go to Ghana this year already. My question is about the visa. How easy or difficult is it to get the visa? Because I know when I went to Rwanda, I did not need a visa. I mean, I could get it when I got to the airport for just $50, but I hear that it's very different for Ghana. Can you give us some explanation or?
Yeah. So, okay, I'll give you the two routes. The regular route, you send your passport to the consulate. There's consulates in New York. There's consulate in Washington, D.C. And I think there's one in maybe Florida or somewhere, but you mail it off. If you don't live in that city, you mail it off. They put the visa on your passport and send it back. Me, I don't like parting with my passport. My passport is very close to me. I don't like leaving it. So you can get a visa on arrival. But in Ghana, it's about who you know. If you know someone, you can't, it's not where you can just like how in Rwanda, pull up, go to a line, $50 visa on arrival. No. It's about who you know. For my group, I get visa on arrivals. I recommend people go the standard way if you don't have a contact, but like when you work with me, I give visa on arrivals. I have contacts in immigration. In Ghana, it's always all about who you know. That's it. I mean, it's all about that. And so my trip, go ahead.
I'm glad you said that because I do have a contact in Ghana who told me, no, just come over. I'll make sure that when you, I'm like, what? No, I'm not doing that.
They can do that. If they tell you that, they can do that. But if you don't have a contact, you cannot do that. And it really comes down to that, you know, because if you go on the website, they'll tell you no visa on arrival, but they definitely are doing visa on arrival. That's what I've always done. But you have to build relationships. So my retreat in October, it's called Best of Both Worlds. And it's like bringing together the best of, you know, US and Ghana lifestyle and really showing you how to live a bi-continental life. And on my retreat, I introduce you to the people that you need to know to navigate the processes. You know, I'll give you contacts. And so I do small groups because I like it to be intimate, and I introduce you to business leaders and do real estate and lifestyle tours and take you around to like what it's like to live in Ghana. So of course we do all the tourism things, but we also do the local things, what it's like to live there, because living there and visiting is very, very different. And I like to really show people what it's like, introduce you to the right resources to get your businesses registered. If you want to start to process to do your residency, all the things you need, the people you need to know so that you can get the good prices and not the American prices, I'll introduce you to those people. So that's the point. So you'll have your own, you know, once you come with me, I'll introduce you to somebody in immigration, and now you know somebody. And now you can be the visa on arrival plug and not me. Any
Thank you
more
so much
questions?
for that.
You're
I'm
welcome.
glad you put me at ease on that. So now I know, okay,
Yes,
if that's,
yes,
it's good to hear from more than one person.
yes.
Thank
It's
you.
Are there any rules and regulations that we need to know prior to coming, as far as like what to wear, what not to wear, what to do, what not to do when it comes to
Oh my God. That's
Okay.
what I was about to say earlier. Wait a minute, Don. So I'm packing. First of all, I booked my flight the day before I went to Johannesburg. It's a few years ago. And so my girlfriend was already there. And I'm like, why does she have on a coat? Y'all, I never knew. I didn't go to history class like Don. I
That
didn't go to
Johannesburg
college.
is cold. Mm-hmm.
I never knew that the continent even got cold. You should see what I had packed. I had to hurry up. I booked my ticket the day before I left. I packed my clothes and then saw her on Instagram. I said, why is this girl got on a coat? Why does she have on a coat? And I did not realize that they had winters in Africa. I just wanted to tell y'all that. That's what I was going to tell y'all earlier.
Not in
No, yeah,
Ghana.
I went to Nairobi,
No.
Kenya, some years ago, and
Oh yeah.
Claudienne, you got it beforehand. No, we packed summer clothes. It was summer, and it was cold there in June.
Cold.
So it was weird. We had to find cover up. We had to just, try to revamp our actual clothing that we already had because it was different. So that's why.
Yeah. So like Jeff said, it gets chilly, but you won't need a coat. I've never put a coat on my body in Ghana. I mean, it's very warm, even at night, even in the morning. This is why I picked Ghana. It's like Miami or Ghana. Like I need warmth at all times. And even Miami has been getting cold recently. But I guess some things when you say you can wear what you want. There's no cultural things like that that say like cover your body or cover this or that. I would just say this is transparent. If you're a smoker, as in of the cannabis type, don't ever drive with it and don't get caught with it. Just keep it tight, keep it close, because the police in Ghana are really nice as far as like they won't kill you. They won't they won't hurt you, but they will stop you all the time. And if you are American, they will search all through your stuff just because bribes are real. They're looking for money, they're looking for weed, they're looking for weed basically. And if you have it on you, you're gonna have to pay. And it's just an inconvenience because you will get thoroughly searched and they will stop and search you. It's to be scared. Like when it first happened to me, my heart was beating. I'm American. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the police, my heart beating. But they're nice. They just want a couple CDs. So it's something to get used to when you're dealing like in Ghana, just culturally, it's like, oh yeah, a brig is chilly. The mountains definitely do get chilly. But when you're in Ghana, just understanding that like the police don't mean you harm. Same way as in Rwanda, they're gonna stop you. They're gonna talk. Even between Accra and Cape Coast one night, I had 17 police checkpoints, and they just stop you. Oh, where you going? 17 times. Don't you have a walkie-talkie? Can you just tell them the girl in this car is going here? But 17 times they stopped me. And it could be excessive, but just be nice, smile, be respectful. I would say leave your American attitude in America. Ghana, they don't like all of that. Don't be popping off. They get the opposite. In Ghana, being aggressive and doesn't get results like it does in America. Like you have to turn up in America to get something or complain. No. You have to be very calm and patient, like in Ghana. You have to really, really back to get results. To get results, you have to just like chill. Ghana really helped me to change things about myself that I needed to change as far as being patient, and expecting things coming fast. There's no such thing as fast food. Like you're gonna wait 30, 45 minutes for your food, no matter what it is. It's just the way they move is just at a different pace. Also, just another fun fact, if it's raining, you can just forget about it. Like rain in Ghana is treated like a level 12 snowstorm. Like they're not coming. If you have an appointment, they're not coming. If you got to be somewhere, they're not there. So during rainy season, just don't make plans. Forget about your calendar. Like you can tentatively go somewhere, but like, nah. So I had to learn that too. Like they're coming when they want to. Yeah, my appointment's at 8 a.m., but he's coming. If you want to come at 4, that's when he's coming. And I used to get mad, like, I thought we had an appointment at 3. I've been waiting all day. And he looked at me like, sorry. And that's it. You're not getting nothing but sorry, and then just move on. So I had to also learn that, but it helped me be better. I do like that part. But culturally, just leave your American expectations, leave your expectations of service, what we call service, leave that in America, leave your attitude in America, and just have an open mind. And Ghanaians are very nice, and they're very like they're helpful and they're thoughtful. If you just treat them with respect, just that's it. I love living in Ghana. They have embraced me. I feel like home. Most of my friends are Ghanaian in Ghana, and there's nowhere else that I would like to live, even though they don't extort you for money, but they just chop the money. They just what's the better? They just chop the money. They just want tips for everything. That's it. Like they want tips for just living. That's it. So it's fine. It's a couple CDs. It's not a big deal. You just get used to it. The police always threaten to arrest me. They'll see me on my phone and say, "Oh, you were on your cell phone. You're under arrest." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. Here's 100 CDs. Like, please leave me alone. I gotta go somewhere." But they'll do that. "You're under arrest. I saw you pick up your cell phone." And at first I'd be scared when they say you're under arrest. That's scary to me as a Black person. I'm scared at first, like I'm under arrest. No, but now they threaten to arrest me at least every other week because I am always doing something. Like I'll be driving, I'll pick up the phone, and then they just happen to catch me, and I just gotta just pay my little bribe. I like Ghana because you can pay your way in and out of anything. That can be good or bad. I mean, I like it. I got a little sketch in me. So as far as I want to pay the police not to arrest me, I'm happy that I can pay the police $10 to not arrest me. It's a benefit. The exchange rate fluctuates. I've seen it go from 10 to 1, 10 CDs to 1 to recently 14.5. I don't even know what it is today, but it changes almost every damn day. So it is unstable. I recommend when you come to Ghana, bring a stack of crisp hot $100 bills, not the old ones, the new ones. And the great thing I love about Ghana is the black market exchange. I mean, I love going to the street, taking my hundreds and getting a good price for them. So you can't do that in Rwanda, but you can take your money outside of KFC and Osu over there and get your money exchange, and the dude's walking around with a backpack full of money. I like that. It's nice. So just bring your hundreds. Don't bring 20s. They don't want them. Don't bring 10s. Bring your hundreds. And you can get the most for hundreds. You can get 50s, but don't bring anything below that. Do not exchange your money at the airport. Do not exchange your money in America. Just come with American dollars. It goes far. Somebody said I wouldn't want to deal with them threatening me every day. I mean, I feel threatened every day driving around in America just by their presence. So I feel at ease in Ghana. Like, we're breaking the law. You're not supposed to text and drive. We all know that. If I'm deciding to break the law, there are consequences. So I am doing wrong. They're not threatening me for nothing. But instead of just giving me a ticket that's going to be $50 or something in America, $100, you pay $10 and they leave you alone. So it's not like they're harassing me. I am wrong. I don't feel like being bothered. Like, and again, they go straight from like arrest. It doesn't go from like ticket. It goes from arrest. It goes to, "Oh, you're texting and driving, you're under arrest." I think that's just the language. I don't think it's really going to be under arrest. I think they just want you to give them money. But again, I have a police officer on speed dial. Everybody that I know that's American have a police officer or two that's a friend of theirs. Anytime they pull me over, I just call my police officer and I just hand them the phone and they just talk to them, and it's fine. So again, if you come on my tour, I'll introduce you to a police officer. You'll have your own police officer and you'll be fine. That's just how it goes. I actually love it. It makes me happy. You don't understand. I feel safe that I can pay the police. It's a nice
So instead
feeling.
of saying call my attorney, call my police officer.
I'm calling the police right now. I'll call the police on the police. "Hello, here. Talk to him. Talk to your man. Tell him, leave me alone." And they do every time. So it's nice. So someone asked the question, They won't exchange the money if it isn't crisp. Yes, they want new money. $100 and $50, Series 2017. Okay, thank you for that. Bring $100 bills. They will never take $1 from you. 100. Okay, any more questions? Ghana's amazing, you guys. I love it there. It is corrupt. There's corruption because, you know, all governments are corrupt. Our United States, y'all about to have Trump. I'll take anything over that. I'm telling you. So police can threaten me every day to arrest me over a cell phone before I be over in America with Donald Trump talking about he's about to change the laws and let the police not be prosecuted. That's a whole nother topic, but it's safe. You know, you can't compare Ghana to America. They're different places. But when I went out, my quality of life compared to I was definitely a well-off rich person in America, very comfortable life. I make way less money than I did when I lived in America, but my lifestyle is better. I have a full-time cook. I have a full-time driver. I have someone clean my house 3 days a week, included in my rent. I have security. It's included in my rent that does everything that I need and want, carries my groceries. I come home, my clothes is in the closet hung. They do my laundry. They basically wash me. I feel like the Munda, you know, I feel like they do everything for me. They take very good care of me. I get a massage every week, 4-hand massage, 2 women at a time, $50 for 90 minutes. You see these very nice nails I got, $20. Get my hair done nice. The doctors, great. I mean, I balance it out and it's worth it. You know, the rent is high, but the lifestyle is good. The fruit is fresh. You know, the food is organic. You can get abundance of food, fresh fruit. You can eat well without the chemicals and the toxins. Every time I go back home to Ghana, I lose 10 pounds immediately. I come to America, I gain 10 pounds. I go back to Ghana, lose 10 pounds within a week because the food is just clean. Everyone that I know that's older, you know, I'm 45 and up you know, their health has improved since living in Ghana and living in Rwanda. This the quality of, you know, I've been to all the doctors, I've been to the dentists, I've been to the eye doctor, everything's fine. I don't even need insurance. I'll go pay $25 to go to the doctor. So it's just, you don't need those things. I had a full surgery, a full operation, anesthesia, all these things. I had a full surgery in Rwanda and I paid $350 for the whole surgery, pre-care, post-care, medication, antibiotics, 4 doctor visits, $350 total for a whole surgery being in the hospital. So again, the lifestyle, I will never come back to America. So you're going to have some trade-offs, but for me, and especially thinking about my aging and retiring, I want to retire and I don't want to pay crazy prices to live. It's a great place to retire, Ghana, and also, you know, I have to throw Rwanda in the mix, but it's a great place to retire. You can definitely retire comfortably off of fixed income being in Ghana. So thank
Question,
you,
Don.
Thank you. Oh, yes, Jeff, yes.
So 2 things. I think I'm going to be in Ghana around that time. So I don't know what the thing includes, you know, with that. You can let me know about what it includes with the tour. If you know, was it room or board, stuff like that, or if I'm already there, can it come still if I'm already back home? So that's the option. And then also with the purchase of the actual property, uh, um, what is the process? You know, what is the process to secure your investment? So
Yeah, so
what
when
are
you
the
purchase, I
okay?
mean, it's very similar. Go ahead. Like as far as contracts, so I'll say this, you don't have to go through all of those levels of people, them title people, and you know, Claudienne, she's an agent. She can explain all the levels and layers in America. None of that happens. You don't need all those people. Escrow this and this and that and that. No, you sign the reservation form. So if you want to buy an apartment with me, you sign a reservation form. It's an indication of I'm going to buy this. You pay a non-refundable deposit. Typically it's $5,000. With this developer, it may be different. I'm going to find out for phase 2 if it's changed, but typically $5,000. Then you have 30 days to make your first installment payment. They break it down on payment plans. There's always payment plans. You pay over 2 years. You have different forms of payment plans that you can pay. It's interest-free developer financing. You pay no interest. So the price of your home, say your unit is $100,000, you pay $5,000 down, and then you pay 20% sometimes it's 20% every 6 months. So you pay the first 20% in 30 days, every 6 months pay 20%, and then a project is delivered. You get a straight up contract. I have lawyers that always review the paperwork before I share it. So I do that part of the work, but a lot of my clients want to have their own attorneys review it. It always checks out just fine. And I update you along the way as it's being built. I'm always your point of contact. You can reach me on WhatsApp, email. I'm very accessible. I send regular project updates, pictures, videos, and then it gets built. Then before it's finished, we'll talk, see, okay, do you want to get furnishings? Do you want them to manage it for you? All the final paperwork is done after the first month. So after you do your first payment, when you do your first payment, at that same time, you do your full contract, so it's yours. This is also a thing. If you say you get halfway through next year you've already paid half of it, 50,000, and you're like, man, I can't do this, or I want to sell it now, or I'm into a situation where I don't want to see this through. You can still sell it off plan, and then I can help you sell it to somebody else, and you can still roll that over to them. So you're not trapped in it, but you get the real upside if you hold it until the project opens. But you don't have to pay for all these people and all these layers. It's just me, you, and the developer. Nobody else.
Awesome. And that 20% is based off of what you already paid, minus what you paid. Is it going off the net?
So the way that it works, if your property is $100,000, your 20% is going to be 20,000. That 5,000 reservation comes off the last payment. So your last payment will be 15,000. They don't give you the credit to see it all the way through, because that reservation form fee is non-refundable. So it's really important to note that you can change your mind before you go into it, but you can't get that 5,000 back because they charge that to take it off the market and hold that unit. So that's important to be sure before you
and that's every 6 months. The 20% is due every 6 months.
That's the typical payment plan, but it varies. That's what most of the clients go with, 20% every 6 months, because it's a 2-year delivery. So 20% up front, 20, 20, and then upon delivery, you pay that last 20, which ends up being essentially under 20 because your deposit's deducted from that. The insurance. So people ask about insurance. When you buy into a development like these, the insurance is included in your monthly payment, your monthly common area maintenance, or your HOA, whatever we want to call it. So if it's, typically $100 to $300, it includes all of your service, security, amenities, and your insurance on your unit. They take care of that.
Okay, awesome. And so once it's booked out, finished and done and ready to be rented, do they have an idea of the time it would take to get your initial investment back and be in full profit? Or how does that process work?
I was giving you the projections. I shared some rental estimates. So a studio can go from $1,200 to $1,800 a month. So you kind of just got to plan that out. I recommend if you're trying to see fast returns that you rent it out to long-term renters, because you get a guaranteed money. It's a lot of renters like to do short-term rentals because they make a lot of money in December and January. You'll make your whole year if you have the right property, but there's no guarantee because you got to see if somebody books you. If you get a long-term renter in there who's going to lock in for a year or 2 years, you just got your money coming in. And the way rent works in Ghana, there's no such thing as a credit score. So when you want to rent an apartment, you pay cash. They usually ask for a year rent up front. I've been able to negotiate 6 months rent at a time, but that was a shock to me because they're like, "Oh, you want to move in? All right, 24,000. You can have the keys." I'm like, "Oh, for an apartment?" So that's how it is. But as an owner, how nice is it to get people to pay you $24,000 once a year? That's a nice money coming in for you, or even quarterly if you want to split it up like that. But
the
so
locals do 2 years.
Yes,
The locals
they'll
only
do
do
2
2 years. Yeah.
I know people that have done 5, locked in for 5. So if you have a good project, and I only share things that I know that are going to get occupied. So Heritage 100 is a project that is already sold out. They're already building it and it's selling out already. And then they can help you find tenants to place in it. And that's also important. And they also offer property management. So you don't have to manage it yourself. If you want to put it on Airbnb, booking.com, rent it through them. They take a 10% service fee for their fee of doing all of the work of cleaning it out, checking people in, customer service. And then the rest, it goes back to you. And they can manage everything for you and can be a pure investment. Same with the beachfront property. If you do the fractional ownership, it's run like a hotel room. It's run just like a hotel. And then you just get your percentage of the bookings of the unit that you're an owner of. Yeah.
It sounds like a condo hotel. We have many of them here in Miami where it's the Hilton. You make 40, 50%. They do everything. It's like a hotel, like what she's saying.
Yes.
So I'm just super excited, Don. I want to just say thank you for being here. Guys, there is a link. It is I've already clicked the link. I've already tested it out. It's there. It's going to ask you if you want to be a part of the October, not event, but the tour. And I think that's great to be able to live both as a tourist. And I know my husband's going to love it because he always wants to live like the natives. And so, guys, click the link. If you have any more questions, Don gave you your information. You have my information. The dates are October
25th through November 3rd. October 25th through November 3rd. It's going to be a good time. Yes.
All
and
right.
I dropped that also. DawnDickson.me. You can see about the retreat. That's my website. And I dropped it there again. But if you fill out the form, I'll send you everything to your email and a lot of things to watch, read, give you like a deep dive into the project and the video so you can actually see the real area. I would have done it today, but as you see, this internet not that stable, so you'll get it in your email. Any more questions, anybody? I just love to see how many people are on here. Claudienne, you bring them out.
Yeah, we had 60 people on here and it's exciting. I almost feel like I want to do another one, but we'll see.
And there's so many women. Women are, I'm sorry guys, you're on here, no shade, but the women are really the ones doing it. The women are the ones investing the most. The women are the ones really showing up, showing out. Even in Ghana, I talked to a lot of Ghanaians and it's the Ghanaian moms, it's the women that are really driving, investments and really holding the family down. So I just love to see my Black ladies on here. This makes me so happy. So, use them as a resource either way, even if you're not ready to buy yet, you know me now. It's really my mission and I feel aligned with my purpose of life to be a bridge for the diaspora to come back to the continent. So it just gives me great joy to do these presentations and to also connect with people that want to be back on the continent.
All right, guys, we going to the motherland. I don't know about you, but we definitely going to be there. And I couldn't be more proud to be able to do it with Dawn Dickson herself. I love her track record. I've been following her forever. And if you want some of those flat outer heels, you could just go to flatouterheels.com and go and get your own shoes.
I'm actually moving it to Ghana. The website is down now because I'm moving my whole business to Ghana and going into retail in Ghana. So now the next thing that I'm going to teach people how to do is to launch your business in Ghana. So I'm gonna do it first. I like to lead by example, but once I get through it, I'll know how to help you all to launch your business and your products in Ghana. So I'm excited about that too. I moved my whole life there. I moved everything. I shipped my whole life. I have nothing in America. I don't have a house or anything in America. I live in Ghana and I have a place in Rwanda. So happy to help you all make that transition in a smooth way, smooth as possible.
All right, y'all, we're going to keep going.
Let me say one more thing. Can we record this and can we upload it for replay? We can send out a replay link to those who may have missed it.
We'll do it today.
Okay, good. Perfect. So then if you didn't get to see the whole thing, you'll get to catch it later.
Yes. All right, guys, that's our time. I don't want to take up any more of Don's time. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. Thanks, Jeff, and everybody else that was here today. That's our time. Love, peace, and real estate. You know how I like to end.